Hi, this is Vemaradi. So today I wanted to show you a simple process that insert the data into a database. But here I'm using a cloud database. A cloud database, it's readily available on the cloud is Airtable. So the use case what I wanted to show you here is, so in the real time, you might be having process interfaces developed that process huge data. And in some case, if your process run into an issue and if your organization enterprise integration level there is no database logging is enabled, then it's very difficult to monitor the data what's going on, and it really painful to triage the issue if something goes wrong. So if you're using a notify shape, you can capture the log in a process log, but that somehow restrict the messages will be truncated after your payload exceeds certain limit. So that's the problem with inbuilt logging. So in that case, if you wanted to analyze the complete payload, what's going on to triage the issue, this is kind of cloud table. So that will really helps, but it's not a kind of client requirement to use that. But it's in case of you don't have any database connection available here in the Boomi account, and if you don't have anything, if you are not using a local cloud atom or local atom cloud atom something you're using, you don't have any databases can be accessible. So that's the reason in that say in that scenario, so you can use this cloud kind of databases. So that helps you to log the data into database, and you can monitor, you can view the what's going on the current payload, and that helps you to issue or find out the root cause easily. So let's see how it will be integrated into Boomi. So you just have to create a trial account for this here. So that once you have created a trial account, it will be you can able to log in here. So you can just go ahead and this is how it looks like. Let's click on this one here, the table. So once you have, so this is something kind of base will be created. Base is kind of a workspace. Inside a workspace, you can have as many number of table you want. I can say in Oracle or any DB kind of thing. The base is kind of a schema. Inside the schema you can have as many number of tables you want. So I just created, you can just click on add base, so that the same way I created as a table. So inside the table, so you can see that all as many number of table you want, you can just go ahead and create it, add empty table, all these things. So I just created an empty table and I just double click on it, the each of columns. So you can use this plus to add as many number of columns you want. You can just double click on the column name and specify the type of data you wanted to. So it provides a very graphical, very user-friendly graphical UI that helps you to quickly create it. And the workspace name, it's a table name, and also this particular website, it provides a REST API to interact with this. So as soon as you create a tables, and REST API is also, and it means REST object also for this for inserting the data into for managing the data in this table. Object also will be automatically generated by the this particular Airtable website. So that's a very beauty of this. So you can just see that I just created a table. Once you go, so how, where, before we going to that, what we need to see is you just need to click on account here, settings over here. So that helps you to generate a key. Okay, so because the key is mandatory to enable the REST API access to this particular platform. So once you click on key here, account here, so you have an option to generate a key here. You can just if you don't have generated earlier, you can see generate key. And so once that there's a key will be token will be generated, and using that token you can click on this API. So the API will be automatically generated for the bases and tables also. Once you click on this API, you can see that all the bases these are the predefined bases, and this is the base I was just created and earlier. So you can just click on this and you can see that all the APIs, list of APIs will be there. You can have the list, different types of methods will be the list, retrieve, delete, create, record, all these things. So if you just click on create record, you can see how it looks like. This is if you want to insert the data into this particular base and this particular table, you can see the table name also here, table one. So your API and URLs, everything will be automatically generated with respect to your object, so table. So you can just use this URL and then take your bearer token, the token that you just copied over here, or else you can use this, see this one, so that that key also will be there. So this is a bearer authentication authorization, and you can, these are fields. When you create a table and corresponding columns, object a REST API automatically generated for this object with this list of columns automatically. So you can just see and the sample payload, and you can capture everything, and with this you can just create a profile and just send a post method over here, so that you can able to insert the data and you update data. It will be something like put methods and patch method, and then delete, it will be delete. Like you can play all these API methods to insert, delete, update, and all these things. So let's jump into this, Bhumi. So what I already created a process. So, but I wanted to insert the data. This is a sample XML. I referred it from the double three schools. Here I can see that list of foods I'm trying to insert it. So what exactly I was trying to insert is I was trying to capture the payload along with some metadata about this. So these are the list of fields I created: ID, name, created on, and payload. The payload will be the every record that I would like to capture over here, and and this is the name also comes from over here, and ID is unique key value and when it was created. So let's go to process. So I just, whatever the XML you are seeing over here, I've just copy pasted over here, and then I split the record. The reason I split it here, so the API itself, you can see that API can able to support multiple records can be inserted in one call. So that's the reason I was just use a split. I was using a split to split the record for every food item, and then I just captured some dynamic document properties. That ID value is, I just set it as the ID as a sequential value, and document property payload I've captured using current data, so that every record, entire record will be captured and the payload document properties. And then I was just use the of this mapping over here. So basically here I've just assigned a document property of ID, and then payload will be here, and name just mapped it from left side, so that I just combined the list of array elements in the next. So this field, you can see the field is a root element for here. So it means that multiple this field of type array. So that number of fields, nothing but it's kind of multiple fields will constitute one array, and multiple arrays will be supported in one call. So they just combine it, the repeat element over here array, so that multiple records will be combined and in one shot will be send the data. So let me just quickly run it. So before running, let me quickly delete the data over here. So as of now, I don't have any data. Let me just put it and just run the process to insert the data into a database. I just use the authorization as a bearer token over here. So you can see that the data is inserted over here, and this is the endpoint URL that was just post the message. This is a sample. This is a JSON that was posted. Record is 11, 12, 13, and the corresponding XML. And since I use the current data as a dynamic document property and assigned it to a payload, so current data it's considered as a string, and it internally handles everything in new line characters. We don't need to perform an additional logic to make this as a string. So now you can see, and you can just go ahead and see that the records are inserted. If you want, you can just rerun the process again. As of now, at this moment, we didn't have anything enabled, the primary key constraint, other things, so that the data will be reinserted again with the different sequential values. You can see that. This is how simple it is. So you can just view the data with respect to each record of the payload. So this is very helpful in case of you want to if you want to triage the issue and where you don't have a proper logging was enabled in organization level, and if you want to capture the complete payload for analysis purpose. So you can create this process as a stub, and you can make call this stub as in processes. You can call this process in wherever the data points you want to capture the logging points. You can just call this as a process call, and that helps you to quickly log the data, and it enables you to quickly triage the issue. I think that's all. I just wanted to show you this. If you have any comments, you can just put it in or put it in the comments. Thank you for watching this video.